The basics of Feng Shui. Hi, I'm Brigitte, consultant for Soulspace Feng Shui. I'm based in Melbourne, Australia. I've been a Feng Shui consultant for over 20 years, professionally trained in traditional Feng Shui as well as healthy buildings. My focus is on creating living buildings, buildings that feel right. Many people associate Feng Shui with mirrors, bed placement, and all sorts of cures. Now I just want to cover the basics here and show you that it's actually much more than that. It's a fundamental science of how to create environments that work for you. Feng Shui means wind and water. It's about how to bring positive energies into a building. So there are 3 steps that cover the basics of Feng Shui. Firstly, we want to admit healthy and positive energy into the building. We want to direct it around the building so that good energy can actually get everywhere. And number 3, we want to be able to retain it so you can use it to help you recharge, feel good, and create harmony in those activities of your life. So the first one is we want to admit radiant Yang energy. Yang is also the life energy. Yang is the wealth energy. It's life force, it's vitality. So by admitting radiant Yang, we bring vitality to the building via doors and large windows. There are 2 aspects to good Yang energy. One is the physical environment. So wherever those doors or windows look out to, you want to make sure that it is pleasant. So it's a beautiful scene or beautiful vista that actually enters the building that makes you feel good. On the second level, or the second leg of Feng Shui, is the energetic dimension. You may have experienced how a building feels different to another, although they may be looking pretty much the same. And that has to do with the energetic dimension. They are good Yang energies, they are excellent Yang energies, which ideally we want to bring to a main door and window. And there's also negative ones. So if you have negative Yang at a door, the place as you walk in will feel dull. And there are others that you probably have experienced that as you walk in feel like wow, although they may be looking pretty much like every other one. But on an energetic level, it's important to bring good Yang energy into the building. Number 2, we want to direct. So once the energy has entered the building, we want to make sure we direct it harmoniously to each of the rooms and each of the areas where you spend time. And that's done through meandering pathways, which is an interesting topic because a lot of buildings are designed with a central or maybe a side long hallway, which then leads to, here in Australia anyway, to the living area at the back. And often the living area is cut in 2 by the extension of the hallway. So you don't want to sit in the trajectory of such a long hallway. You're kind of looking down, maybe even right to the front door. It's actually not comfortable and people feel uneasy. So ideally we avoid that in the buildings that already have such hallways. We can do things to make sure that we can divert and slow the energy, make it meander a little bit more, and make sure you don't sit or sleep in the trajectory of a hallway. After having distributed the good energy into the building, we want to make sure that where you spend time, that we can collect it and make a nice space for you for whatever activity that you engaged in that place. And that may be sleeping, maybe working, maybe reading, sitting, studying, and so on. One important thing is, again, the physical dimension of it. We want to create some containment, so the good energy that comes in from the hallway or the door is contained. You have a sense of space, and we achieve that through wall placement and furniture placement. The second dimension to that is the energies that are sitting in the wall and in the furniture behind you and on the side of you. They are the Yin dimension. So the Yin energies behind you should be positive. And again, there are negative energies, particularly in the bedroom. It's really important not to be sleeping or having your bed against a wall where the negative Yin sits. because it's associated with sickness, not sleeping well, not being able to fall asleep, waking up tired. In a workspace, I have found people being really irritated if they sit against a negative yin. So in order to determine what quality of energy comes into your doors and sits in the walls and the different places, we construct the individual energy chart for a building. That's based on advanced Feng Shui methods. It's a flying star system based on the 20-year period when the building was built. Together with its exact compass direction, we use the ancient methods of traditional Feng Shui to determine the energy chart, which tells us what the quality of energy is in the 8 compass directions of the building. We can then place the beds where there is positive energy. To reiterate, the very basic of Feng Shui is to admit healthy, radiant and vital energy into the building, distribute it throughout it, and then retain it where you spend time and make sure that the energy is positive both on the yin and on the yang level. A dynamic balance of yin and yang is what we're trying to achieve, which brings harmony. It's pleasant, it feels natural and not artificial. We then, on a later level, make sure we give each energy that's present in the various sections the right color schemes and shapes, which is based on the Feng Shui elements. The basics of Feng Shui are really the fundamentals that make a building feel good. It's the 80% of good Feng Shui. If you have that in place, the place does not look Feng Shuied in any sort of way, but it will feel natural. It's in harmony with nature, with the energies and the things around it, and it will just naturally be right for you. The other 20% of Feng Shui are, of course, then the color schemes, the shapes, and perhaps some cures that you've heard about. So it's nice speaking to you. If you like to be on my mailing list, please follow the link below, which takes you to my website. There's a form which you can fill out. It will also give you a free gift of how to create a living building and will put you on my mailing list.